Welcome to Grab the Horns. I'm Daniel Cooper. Stock we're going to be looking at today is Best Buy. Ticker symbol is BBY. I've got great analysis on this. We're going to be looking at it today in particular since they released their earnings on Tuesday, June 14th. So we want to go ahead and take a look at this stock and hopefully get some good information out to you so you can make some decisions before that date happens. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We've got a good presentation here. Let's begin. Best Buy is a big box retailer. They're known for their sales in consumer electronics, entertainment, home office products, home appliances, and the likes. Here's Best Buy's homepage right here. As you can see, it's got some video cameras, GPS, TVs. They also sell anything from refrigerators, washers and dryers to CDs, DVDs, things like that. So really, that consumer electronics type store. Now, here's a chart of Best Buy, and as we can see, the 52-week range on Best Buy, again, ticker symbol BBY, has a low of about $28.09. As we can see, it's just off of its low there, and a high of about $45.63. Now, again, it's not trading too far off of its low at $28.09. It's actually about $28.43 is what it closed at on Friday. But you can see that's a little bit concerning there, as you can see the chart and the way that it's been trending. Now, Circuit City was one of Best Buy's biggest competitors. Circuit City filed for bankruptcy at the end of 2008, and it closed most of its stores in early 2009. With such a big competitor gone, a lot of people were speculating that Best Buy would really just dominate the market. They looked, and however, Best Buy, for some reason, really has been quite disappointing on that front. Another company which we're all familiar with, Walmart, they've consistently taken away market share in consumer electronics with cheaper prices, lower costs for extended warranties, and the like. I mean, we've all seen the commercials out there, the Match It commercials from Walmart. Any price that you put out there against Walmart, they've got basically they've got the ability to go out there and say, okay, we're going to be able to beat that price because they've got an authority in the market. They're able to beat up their wholesalers as much as they want, get the prices for what they want, and put them out there. This has really hurt a company such as Best Buy. And strangely enough, it's not just these big companies that are just competing, left and right with Best Buy. It's the companies like Radio Shack. Radio Shack, ticker symbol is RSH, and excuse me, Walmart's is WMT. But Radio Shack, they've somehow managed to survive and compete in cell phone accessories and cell phones in general, and really just be that smaller box type company with its small footprint locations across malls and standing free store. They've competed in this industry, and they've also made Best Buy look kind of silly. As we look here, Best Buy used to be the #1 destination for video games. Not so anymore today. Game enthusiasts are more likely to go to stores like this, Amazon.com. You can find it cheaper. GameStop, if they want to go locally, they got to get the game today. They want to go out and grab it, they'll go to GameStop. Or, the video gaming of the Netflix of video gaming, Gamefly.com. Their business model is very similar to Netflix. In fact, what they do is they go out and they'll rent video games to people. So those three have really taken that business away from Best Buy, along with the Walmarts and the Radio Shacks taking other business away from them. So Best Buy is really, they've just failed miserable to capitalize on so many fronts, especially when in 2009 it looked like the sky was going to be the limit for Best Buy. Their biggest competitor, Circuit City, out of the way, but they've really failed here. Now, there are some experts that say, okay, Best Buy, although it's had some shortcomings, they're a good long-term buy. In fact, hedge fund manager David Einhorn of Greenlight Capital, he actually owns a sizable stake above the current price. He came out and commented that bears believe that the internet puts Best Buy on a path to blockbuster video obsolescence. Now, we think that view overstates the risk, as there's a value in the store help, merchandising, surface, and being able to walk out of the store with your purchase. So again, this is coming from David Einhorn from Greenlight Capital. This is what he believes here. Best Buy is highly unlikely to go bankrupt like Circuit City or Blockbuster like Einhorn from Greenlight Capital alluded to. However, with fewer and fewer competitive reasons to shop there, it really makes you think that there's a lot better stocks out there to own. Especially when we talk about, the competitive competitive field that's out there with the Walmarts for the brick and mortar type store, the Radio Shacks, even the GameStops. And then you go online, you've got Amazon, you've got GameFly. It's really hard to make a compelling argument to own Best Buy, even in the long run. There's a lot of fundamental flaws in their strategy, and it should really concern an investor that with such a big competitor like Circuit City going out of the way in 2009, Best Buy was not able to capitalize on that situation. So those are some things to consider, especially with their earnings coming out on Tuesday the 14th. Make sure to keep that in your quiver of arrows. Think about that. And as always, get out there, go grab the horns.